Hello and welcome back to Livingroom Shakespeare. I'm sorry we're just a little bit late to curtain tonight, but we are glad to be here with you, and we are bringing Antony and Cleopatra. So our actors are all waiting in the wings. Oh my goodness. Our actors are waiting in the wings, and they are ready to put on a great show tonight. So before we get started, allow me to remind you that the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck is the theatrical home of many of our actors when we are able to be there, and they are starting to do more shows. I know they just recently cast As You Like It. And so we have several of our actors who are going to be involved in that production. You'll be hearing much more about As You Like It over the course of the next few weeks from us. On the topic of the next few weeks, we will not have a show next Saturday night due to Easter. It makes it difficult to put a show together. So you will see us again on the 10th. So if you are planning to check in with us next week, check in with us on the 10th. And given that, without further ado, I will give you Antony and Cleopatra. Act 1.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals o'erflows the measure. Those his goodly eyes that o'er the files and musters of the war have glowed like plated Mars, now bend, now turn the office and devotion of their view upon a tawny front. His captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst the buckles on his breast, reneges all temper, and is become the bellows and the fan to cool a gypsy's lust. Oh, look where they come. Take but good note, and you shall see in him the triple pillar of the world transformed into a strumpet's fool. Behold and see.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much.
There's beggary in the love that can be reckoned.
I'll set a burn how far to be beloved.
Then must thou needs find out new heaven, new earth.
News, my good lord, from Rome.
Great Smith, the sum.
Nay, hear them, Antony. Fluvia perchance is angry, or who knows if the scarce-bearded Caesar have not sent his powerful mandate to you, do this, take in that kingdom, and enfranchise that. Perform it, or else we damn thee.
How, my love?
Perchance, nay, most like, you must not stay here longer. Your dismission is come from Caesar. Therefore, hear it, Antony. Where's Fluvia's process? Caesar's, I would say. Both. Call in the messenger. As I am Egypt's queen, thou blushest, Antony. And that blood of thine is Caesar's homage. Else so thy cheek pays shame when thrice-shilled Fluvia scolds. The messengers.
Let Rome and Tiber melt, and the wide arch of the ranged empire fall. Here is my space. Kingdoms are clay, our dungy earth alike feeds beast as man. The nobleness of life is to do thus, when such a mutual pair and such a twain can do it, in which I bind, on pain of punishment, the world to weet, we stand up peerless.
Excellent falsehood. Why did he marry Fluvia and love her, not her? I'll seem the fool I am not, Antony will be himself.
But stirred by Cleopatra. Now, for the love of love in her soft hours, let's not confound the time with conference harsh. There's not a minute of our lives should stretch without some pleasure now. What sport tonight?
Here are the ambassadors.
Fie, wrangling queen, no messenger but thine, and all alone, tonight we'll wander through the streets and note the qualities of people. Come, my queen, last night you did desire it. Speak not to us.
Is Caesar with Antonius prized so slight?
Sir, sometimes, when he is not Antony, he comes too short of that great property which still should go with Antony.
I am full sorry that he approves the common liar, who thus speaks of him at Rome. But I will hope of better deeds tomorrow. Rest you happy.
Lord Alexis, sweet Alexis, most anything Alexis, almost absolute Alexis, Where is the soothsayer that you praise so to the queen? Oh, that I knew this husband which you say must charge his horns with garlands.
Soothsayer.
Your will.
Is this the man? You, sir, know things?
In nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read.
Show him your hand.
Bring in the banquet quickly. Wine enough Cleopatra's health to drink.
Good sir, give me good fortune.
I make not, but foresee.
Pray then, foresee me one.
You shall be yet far fairer than you are.
He means in flesh.
No, you shall paint when you are old.
Wrinkles forbid.
Vex not his presence. Be attentive.
Hush.
You shall be more beloving than beloved.
I had rather heat my liver with drink.
Nay, hear him.
Good now, some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in a forenoon and widow them all. Let me find me to marry me with Octavius Caesar and companion me with my mistress.
You shall outlive the lady whom you serve.
Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs.
You have seen and proved a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach.
Then be like my children shall have no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches must I?
If every of your wishes had a womb, and fertile every wish, 1,000,000.
Out, fool! I forgive thee for a witch.
You think none but your sheets are privy to your wishes.
Nay, come tell Iris her.
We'll know all our fortunes.
Mine and most of our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed.
There's upon presages chastity, if nothing else.
E'en as the overflowing Nilus presageth famine.
Go, you wild bedfellow, you cannot soothsay.
Nay, if only an oily palm be not fruitful for propagation, I can scratch mine ear. Prithee, tell her but a workday.
Your fortunes are alike.
But how? Give me particulars.
I have said.
Am I not an inch of fortune better than she?
Well, if you are but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it?
Not in my husband's nose.
Our worser thoughts heavens mend. Alexa, come, fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman who cannot go. Sweet Isis, I beseech thee, and let her die, and give him worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him, laughing to his grave, 50-fold a cuckold. Good Isis, hear me this prayer. Though thou deny me a matter of more weight, good Isis, I beseech thee.
Amen, dear goddess. Hear that prayer of the people. For as it is heartbreaking to see a handsome man loose-wived, so it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul knave uncocked. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum and fortune him accordingly.
Amen.
Lo now, if it lay in their hands to make me a cuckold, they would make themselves whores, but they'll do it.
Hush, here comes Antony.
Not he, the queen.
Saw you, my lord?
No, lady.
Not here.
No matter.
He was disposed to mirth, but on the sudden a Roman thought had struck him. Enobarbus,
Madam,
seek him and bring him hither. Where's Alexis?
Here at your service. My lord approaches.
We will not look upon him. We will not with us.
Fulvia, thy wife,
My wife
first came
first
into
came
the field
into the field.
against my brother Lucius.
Aye. But soon that war had ended, and the time state made friends of them, joining their force against Caesar, whose better issue in the war, Antony, upon the first encounter, braved them.
Well, what worst?
The nature of bad news infects the teller.
When it comes to the fool or the coward, on. Things that are past are done with me. 'Tis thus. Who tells me true, though in his tale lie death, I hear him as he flattered.
Oh, my lord.
Speak to me home, mince not the general tongue. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail thou in Fulvia's phrase, and taunt my faults with such full license as both truth and malice have power to utter. Fare thee well a while.
At your noble pleasure.
From Sicyon, ho, the news, speak.
These strong Egyptian fetters I must break, or lose myself in dotage. Well, what are you?
Fulvia, thy wife, is dead.
Where died she?
In Sicyon. Her length of sickness, with what else more serious importeth thee to know? This bears.
Forbear me. There is great spirit gone, thus did I desire it. What our contempt doth often hurl from us, we wish it ours again. She's good, being gone. The hand could pluck her back that shoved her on. I must from this enchanting queen break off. 10,000 harms, more than the ills I know, my idleness doth hatch. How now, Enobarbus?
What's your pleasure, sir?
I must with haste from hence.
Why then, we kill all our women. We see how mortal and unkindness it is to them if they suffer our departure. Oh, death's the word.
I must be gone.
Oh, under a compelling occasion, let women die. It were pity to cast them away for nothing. Between them and a great cause, they should be esteemed nothing. Cleopatra, catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. Oh, I've seen her die 20 times upon the far poorer moment.
She's a cunning past man's thought.
Alack, sir, no. Her passions are made of nothing but the finest part of pure love.
Would I had never seen her.
Oh, sir, then you had left unseen a wonderful piece of work, which not to have been blessed withal would have discredited your travel.
Fulvia is dead.
Sir?
Fulvia is dead.
Fulvia?
Dead.
Oh, why, sir? Give the gods thankful sacrifice. If there are no more women but Fulvia, then you had indeed a cut, a case to be lamented. This grief is crowned with consolation. And indeed, the tears live in an onion that should water this sorrow.
The business she hath broached in the state cannot endure my absence.
And the business you've reached here cannot be without you, especially that of Cleopatra's, which wholly depends on your abode.
No more light answers. Let our officers have notice what we purpose. I shall break the cause for our expedience to the queen, and get her leave to part. For not alone the death of Fulvia, with more urgent touches, do strongly speak to us. But the letters too, of many our contriving friends in Rome, petition us home. Sextus Pompeius hath given the dare to Caesar, and commands the empire of the sea. Our slippery people, whose love is never linked to the deserver, till his deserts are past, begin to throw Pompey the Great and all his dignities upon his son, who, high in name and power, higher than both in blood and life, stands up for the main soldier, whose quality, going on the sides of the world, may danger, much as a breeding, which, like the counselor's hair, hath yet but life, and not a serpent's poison. Say our pleasure to such whose place is under us, requires our quick remove from hence.
I shall do it.
Where is he?
I did not see him since.
See where he is, who's with him, what he does. I did not send you. If you find him sad, say I am dancing. If in mirth, report that I am sudden sick. Quick, and return.
Madam, methinks if you did love him dearly, you do not hold the method to enforce the like from him.
What should I do? I do not.
In each thing, give him way, cost him nothing.
You teach us like a fool the way to lose him.
Tempt him not so too far. I wish forbear in time. Hate that which we often fear. But here comes Antony.
I am sick. I'm sullen.
I am sorry to give breathing to my purpose.
Help me away, dear Charmian. I shall fall. I cannot be thus long. Sides of nature will not sustain it.
Now, my dearest queen.
Pray you, stand further from me.
What's the matter?
I know by that same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman? You may go. Would she had never given you leave to come. Let her not say 'tis I that keep you here. I have no power upon you. Hers you are.
The gods best know that...
Oh, never was there queen so mightily betrayed. Yet at the first I saw treasons planted.
Cleopatra.
Why should I think you can be mine and true, though you in swearing shake the thorned gods who have been false to Fulvia? Riotous madness to be entangled with those mouth-made vows which break themselves in swearing.
Most sweet queen.
Nay, pray you, seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then, eternity was in our lips and eyes. Bliss in our brows, bent. None our parts so poor, but was a race of heaven. So are they so still. For thou, the greatest soldier in the world, art turned the greatest liar.
How now, lady?
I would I had thy inches. Thou shouldst know there was a heart in Egypt.
Hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands our services a while, but my full heart remains in use with you. Our Italy shines o'er with civil swords. Sextus Pompeius makes his approaches to the port of Rome, and quietness, grown sick of rest, would purge any desperate change. My more particular, and that which most with you should safe my going, is Fulvia's death.
Though age from folly could not give me freedom, it does from childishness. Can Fulvia die?
She's dead, my queen. Look here, and at thy sovereign leisure read, the garboils she awakened, and at last, best, see when and where she died.
Most false love, where be the sacred vials thou shouldst fill with sorrowful water? Now I see in Fulvia's death how mine shall be received.
Quarrel no more, but be prepared to know the purposes I bear, which are of or cease, as you shall give the advice. By the fire that quickens Nilus' slime, I go from hence, thy soldier, servant, making peace or war as thou affectest.
Cut my lace, Charmian, come, but let it be. I'm quickly ill and well, so Antony loves.
My precious queen, forbear, and give true evidence to his love, which stands in honorable trial.
So Fulvia told me. I prithee, turn aside and weep for her. Then bid adieu to me, and say the tears belong to Egypt. Good now, play one scene of excellent dissembling, and then let it look like perfect honor.
You'll heat my blood, no more.
Courteous lord, one word. Sir, you and I must part. That's not it. Sir, you and I have loved. But there's not it. That you know well. Something it is I would... Oh, my oblivion is very Antony. And I am all forgotten.
But that your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself.
A sweeting labor to bear such idleness so near the heart as Cleopatra this. But sir, forgive me, since my becomings kill me when they do not eye well to you. Your honor calls you hence. Therefore be deaf to my unpitied folly, and all the gods go with you. On your sword sit laurel victory, and smooth success be strewed before your feet.
Let us go. Come. Our separation so abides and flies, that thou, residing here, goest yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here remain with thee. Away!
You may see, Lepidus, and henceforth know, it is not Caesar's natural vice to hate our great competitor. From Alexandria, this is the news. He fishes, drinks, and wastes the lamps of night in revel. Is not more manlike than Cleopatra, nor the queen of Ptolemy, more womanly than he. Hardly gave audience or vouchsafe to think he had partners. You shall find there a man who is the abstract of all faults that all men follow.
I must not think there are evils enow to darken all his goodness. His faults in him seem as the spots of heaven, more fairy by night's blackness, hereditary rather than purchased. What he cannot change, then in what he chooses.
You are too indulgent. Let us grant it is not amiss to tumble on the bed of Ptolemy, to reel the streets at noon and stand the buffet with knaves that smell of sweat. Say this becomes him? As his composure must be rare indeed, whom these things cannot blemish. Yet must Antony no way excuse his soils, when we do bear so great weight in his lightness. 'Tis to be chid as we rate boys who, being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their present pleasure, and so rebel to judgment.
Oh, here's more news.
Thy biddings have been done, and every hour, most noble Caesar, shalt thou have report how 'tis abroad. Pompey is strong at sea, and it appears he is beloved of those that only have feared Caesar. To the ports the discontents repair, and men's reports give him much wronged.
I should have known no less. It hath been taught us from the primal state that he which is was, wished until he were, and the ebbed man, ne'er loved till ne'er worth love, comes dear by being lacked.
Caesar, I bring thee word, Menecrates and Manus, famous pirates, make the sea serve them. Orders maritime lack blood to think on't, and flush youth revolt. No vessel can peep forth, but 'tis as soon taken as seen. Pompey's name strikes more than could his war resisted.
Antony, leave thy lascivious wassails.
Oh, 'tis pity of him.
Oh, let his shames quickly drive him to Rome. 'Tis time we twain did show ourselves in the field, and to that end assemble we immediate council. Pompey thrives in our idleness.
Tomorrow, Caesar, I shall be furnished to inform you rightly, both what by sea and land I can be able to front at this present time.
To which encounter it is my business too. Farewell.
Farewell, my lord. What you shall know meantime of stirs abroad, I shall beseech you, sir, to let me be partaker.
Doubt not, sir. I knew it for my bond.
Charmian!
Madam?
Ah, give me to drink mandragora,
Why, madam?
that I might sleep out this great gap of time where Antony is away.
You think of him too much.
Thou eunuch, Mardian.
What's your highness' pleasure?
Not now to hear thee say. I take no pleasures in aught in eunuch. 'Tis well for thee that, being unseminar'd, thy freer thoughts may not fly forth of Egypt. Hast thou affections?
Yes, gracious madam.
Indeed.
Not indeed, madam, for I can do nothing but what is honestly done. Yet I have fierce affections and think what Venus did to Mars.
Oh, Charmian, where thinkst thou he is now? Stands he or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse? Oh, happy horse to bear the weight of Antony. Do bravely, horse. Or is he speaking now? Or murmuring, "There's my serpent of old Nile," for so he calls me, Now I feed myself with most delicious poison.
Sovereign of Egypt, hail.
How much unlike Mark Antony. Yet coming from him, the great medicine hath with his tinct gilded thee. How goes it with my brave Mark Antony?
Last thing he did, dear queen, he kissed, the last of many doubled kisses, this orient pearl. His speech sticks in my heart.
Mine ear must pluck it thence.
Good friend, quoth he, say the firm Roman to great Egypt sends this treasure of an oyster, at whose foot to mend the petty present, I will piece her opulent throne with kingdoms. All the East, say thou, shall call her mistress. So he nodded, and soberly did mount an arm-gaunt steed, who neighed so high that what I would have spoke was beastly dumbed by him.
What? Was he sad or merry?
Like to the time of year between the extremes of hot and cold, he was nor sad nor merry.
A well-divided disposition. Note him, good Charmian. 'Tis the man. But note him. He was not sad, for he would shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which seemed to tell them his remembrance lay in Egypt with his joy. But between both, oh, heavenly mingle, beest thou sad or merry, the violence of either thee becomes, so does it become no man else. Metst thou my posts?
Aye, madam, 20 several messengers. Why do you send so thick?
Who's born that day when I forget to send to Antony shall die a beggar. Ink and paper, Charmian. Welcome, my good Alexis. Did I, Charmian, ever love Caesar so?
Oh, that brave Caesar.
Be choked with another emphasis. Say the brave Antony.
The valiant Caesar.
By Isis, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou wilt with Caesar paragon again, my man of men.
By your most gracious pardon, I sing, but after you.
In my salad days, when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say as I said then. But come, away, get me ink and paper. He shall have every day a several greeting, or I'll unpeople Egypt.
Act 2.
Pompey?
There we go. If the great gods be just, and the camera's still off.
Ah, Pompey.
Hi. If the great gods be just, they shall assist the deeds of justice men.
Know, worthy Pompey, that what they do delay, they not deny.
Whiles we are suitors to their throne, I's the thing we suit for.
We, ignorant of ourselves, beg often our own harms, which the wise powers deny us for our good. So find we profit by losing of our prayers.
I shall do well. The people love me and the sea is mine. My powers are crescent, and my auguring hope says it will come to the full. Mark Antony in Egypt sits at dinner and will make no wars without doors. Caesar gets money where he loses heart. Lepidus flatters both, of both is flattered, but he neither loves nor either cares for him.
Caesar and Lepidus are in the field. A mighty strength they carry.
Where have you this? 'Tis false.
From Silvius, sir.
He dreams. I know they are in Rome together, looking for Antony, but all the charms of love, salt Cleopatra soften the waned lip. Let witchcraft join with beauty, lust with both. Tie up the libertine in a field of feast, that sleep and feeding may prorogue his honor, even till a least dullness.
This is most certain that I shall deliver. Mark Antony is every hour in Rome expected. Since he went from Egypt, 'tis a space for further travel.
I could have given less matter a better ear. Menace, I did not think this amorous servitor would don his helm for such a petty war. His soldiership is twice the other twain. Let us rear the higher our option, that our stirring can from the lap of Egypt's widow pluck the ne'er lust-wearied Antony.
I cannot hope Caesar and Antony shall well greet together. His wife that's dead did trespasses to Caesar. His brother warred upon him, although I think not moved by Antony.
I know not, Manus. How lesser enemies have given way to greater, were it not that we stand up against them all. 'Twere pregnant that they should square between themselves, for they have entertained cause enough to draw their swords. But how the fear of us may cement their divisions and bind up the petty difference we yet not know. Be it as our gods will have it. It only stands our lives upon to use the strongest hands. Come, Manus.
Good Enobarbus, 'tis a worthy deed, and shall become you well to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech.
Shall entreat him to answer like himself. If Caesar move him, let Antony look over Caesar's head and speak as loud as Mars.
Oh no, 'tis not a time for private stomaching.
Every time serves the matter that is then born to it.
But small to greater matters must give way.
Not if the small come first.
Your speech is passion, but pray you, stir no embers up. Here comes the noble Antony.
And yonder Caesar.
If we compose well here to Parthia, hark.
I do not know. Mercenus, ask Agrippa.
Noble friends, that which combined us was most great, and let not a leaner action rend us. What's amiss? May it be gently heard. When we debate our trivial difference aloud, we do commit murder in healing wounds. Then, noble partners, the rather for I earnestly beseech, touch you the sourest points with sweetest terms. No cursedness, grow to the matter.
'Tis spoke well. Were we before our armies, and to fight, I should do thus.
Welcome to Rome.
Thank you.
Sit.
Sit, sir.
Nay then.
I learn you take things ill which are not so, or being concern you not.
I must be laughed at, if, or for nothing or a little, I should say myself offended, and with you, chiefly in the world, more laughed at, that I should once name you derogatively, when to sound your name it not concerned me.
My being in Egypt, Caesar. What was it to you?
Well, no more than my residing here at Rome might be to you in Egypt. Yet, if you there did practice on my state, your being in Egypt might be my question.
How intend you practiced?
You may be pleased to catch at mine intent by what did here befall me. Your wife and brother made wars upon me, and their contestation was theme for you, and you were the word of war.
You do mistake your business. Did he not rather discredit my authority with yours, and make wars alike against my stomach, having alike your cause? Of this my letters before did satisfy you. If you'll patch a quarrel, as matter whole you have not to make it with. It must not be with this.
You praise yourself by laying defects of judgment to me, but you patch up your excuses.
Not so, not so. I know you could not lack, I am certain on it, very necessity of this thought that I, your partner in the cause against which he fought, could not with graceful eyes attend those wars which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, I would you had her spirit in such another. The third of the world is yours, which with a snaffle you may pace easy, but not such a wife.
Would we all had such wives that the men might go to wars with the women?
You have broken the articles of your oath, which you shall never have tongue to charge me with.
Oh, soft Caesar.
No, Lepidus, let him speak. The honor is sacred which he talks on now, supposing that I lacked it. But on, Caesar, the article of my faith.
To lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both denied.
Neglected, rather. And then when poisoned hours had bound me up from mine own knowledge, as nearly as I may, I'll play the penitent to you. But mine honesty shall not make poor my greatness, nor my power work without it. Truth is that Fulvia, to have me out of Egypt, made wars here, for which myself, the ignorant motive, do so far ask pardon as befits mine honor. to stoop in such a case.
'Tis noble spoken.
If it might please you to enforce no further the griefs between you, to forget them quite were to remember that the present need speaks to atone you.
Worthily spoken, Macanus.
Or if you borrow one another's love for the instant, you may, when you hear no more words of Pompey, return it again. You shall have time to wrangle in when you have nothing else to do.
Thou art a soldier only. Speak no more.
That truth should be silent. I'd almost forgot.
You wrong this presence. Therefore speak no more.
Go to then, your considerate stone.
I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech, for it cannot be we shall remain in friendship, our conditions so differing in their acts. Yet if I knew what hoop should hold us staunch, from edge to edge, oh, the world, I would pursue it.
Give me leave, Caesar.
Speak, Agrippa.
Thou hast a sister by the mother's side, admired Octavia. Great Mark Antony is now a widower.
Say not so, Agrippa. If Cleopatra heard you, your reproof were well deserved of rashness.
I am not married, Caesar. Let me hear Agrippa further speak.
To hold you in perpetual amity, to make you brothers, and to knit your hearts with an unslipping knot, take Antony Octavia to his wife, whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men. All little jealousies which now seem great, and all great fears which now import their dangers, would then be none. Pardon what I have spoke, for 'tis a studied, not a present thought, but duty ruminated.
Will Caesar speak?
Not till he hears how Antony is touched with what is spoke already.
May I never, to this good purpose that so fairly shows, dream of impediment. Let me have thy hand. Further this act of grace, and from this hour the heart of brothers govern in our loves, and sway our great designs.
There is my hand. A sister I bequeath you, whom no brother did ever love so dearly. Let her live to join our kingdoms and our hearts, and never fly off our loves again.
Oh, happily, amen.
I did not think to draw my sword against Pompey, for he hath laid strange courtesies and great of late upon me. I must thank him only, lest my remembrance suffer ill report. At heel of that, defy him.
Time calls upon us. Of us must Pompey presently be sought, or else he seeks us out.
Where lies he?
About the Mount Misenum.
What is his strength by land?
Great and increasing, but by sea he is an absolute master.
So is the fame. Would we had spoke together, haste we for it, yet ere we put ourselves in arms, dispatch we the business we have talked of.
With most gladness, and do invite you to my sister's view, whither straight I'll lead you.
Let us, Lepidus, not lack your company.
Noble Antony, not sickness should detain me.
Welcome from Egypt, sir.
Half the heart of Caesar, worthy Messenius. My honorable friend, Agrippa.
Good and Barbus.
We have cause to be glad that matters are so well digested. You stayed well by it in Egypt?
Aye, sir. We did sleep day out of countenance and made the night light with drinking.
She's a most triumphant lady, if report be square to her.
When she first met Mark Antony, she pursed up his heart upon the river of Cydnus.
There she appeared indeed, or my reporter devised well for her.
I will tell you, the barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that the winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strokes. For her own person, it beggared all description.
Oh, rare for Antony.
Her gentlewomen, like the Nereids, so many mermaids tended her in the eyes, and made their bends adornings. At the helm, a seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackle swell with the touches of those flower-soft hands. The yearly frame the office. From the barge, a strange, invisible perfume hits the sense of the adjacent wharfs. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which, but for vacancy, had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature.
Rare Egyptian.
Upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied, should be better he became her guest, which she entreated. Our courteous Antony, whom ne'er the word of no woman heard speak, being barbered 10 times o'er, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes eat only.
Royal wench, she made great Caesar lay his sword to bed. He plowed her and she cropped.
Now Antony must leave her utterly.
Never. He will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. Other women cloy the appetites they feed, and she makes hungry where most she satisfies.
If beauty, wisdom, modesty can settle the heart of Antony, Octavia is a blessed lottery to him.
Let us go. Good Anabarbus, make yourself my guest whilst you abide here.
Humbly, sir, I thank you.
The world in my great office will sometimes divide me from your bosom.
All which time, before the gods, my knees shall bow my prayers to them for you.
Good night, sir. My Octavia, read not my blemishes in the world's report. I have not kept my square, but that to come shall all be done by the rule. Good night, dear lady. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Now, sirrah, you do wish yourself in Egypt.
Would that I had never come from thence, nor you thither.
If you can, your reason.
I see it in my motion, have it not in my tongue. But yet, hie you to Egypt again.
Say to me, whose fortunes shall rise higher, Caesar's or mine?
Caesar's. Therefore, O Antony, stay not by his side. Thy demon, that's thy spirit which keeps thee, is noble, courageous high, unmatchable where Caesar's is not. But near him thy angel becomes a fear, as being o'erpowered. Therefore make space enough between you.
Speak this no more.
To none but thee, no more but when to thee. If thou dost play with him at any game, thou art sure to lose. And of that natural luck he beats thee 'gainst the odds. Thy luster thickens when he shines by. I say again, thy spirit is all afraid to govern thee near him. But he away, 'tis noble.
Get thee gone. Say to Canidas, I would speak with him. He shall to Parthia, be it art or hap, he hath spoken true. The very dice obey him, and in our sports my better cunning faints under his chance. I will to Egypt, and though I make this marriage for my peace, in the east my pleasure lies.
Let it alone, Charmian. Let's to billiards. Come, Charmian.
My arm is sore. Best play with Mardane.
As well a woman with an eunuch played as with a woman. Come, you'll play with me, sir.
As well as I can, madame.
And when goodwill is showed, though it come too short, the actor may plead pardon. I'll none now. Give me mine angle. Will to the river. There, my music playing far off, I will betray the tawny fin fishes. My bended hook shall pierce their slimy jaws, and as I draw them up, I'll think them everyone an Antony and say, aha, you're caught.
'Twas merry when you waggered your angling, when your driver did hang a saltfish on his hook, which he with fancy drew up.
That time, oh times, I laughed him out of patience. And the next night I laughed him into patience. And the next morn, ere the 9th hour, I drunk him to his bed, then put my tires and mantles on him, whilst I wore his sword Philippine. Oh, from Italy, Ram thou thy fruitful tidings in mine ears that long time hath been barren.
Madam.
Antonius is dead. If thou say so, villain, thou killst thy mistress. But well and free. If thou so yield him, there's gold. And here, my bluest veins to kiss, and hand that kings have lived, and trembling kiss.
First, madam, he is well.
There's more gold. But sirrah, Mark, we used to say the dead are well. Bring it to that. The gold I gave thee will I melt and pour down thy ill-gulleted throat.
Good madam, hear me.
Well, go too. I will, but there's no goodness in thy face. If Antony be free and healthful, so tar to favor to trumpet so good tidings. Not, thou shouldst come like a fury, crowned with snakes, not like a formal man.
Whilst, please, you hear me.
I had mind to strike thee ere thou speakst. Yet if thou say Antony lives, as well, or friends with Caesar, or not captive to him, I'll set thee in a shower of gold, and shall have hail rich pearls upon thee.
Madame, he's well.
Well said.
And friends with Caesar.
Thou art an honest man.
Caesar and he are greater friends than ever.
Make thee a fortune from me.
But yet, madam.
I do not like but yet. It does allay the good precedents. Fie upon but yet. But yet is a jailer to bring forth some monstrous malefactor. Prithee, friend, pour out the pack of the matter to mine ear, the good and bad together. He's friends with Caesar, the state of health thou sayest, and thou sayest he's free.
Free, madam, no. I made no such report. He's bound unto Octavia.
For what good turn?
For the best turn in the bed.
I am pale.
Madam.
Charmian.
He's married to Octavia.
Most infectious pestilence upon thee!
Give madam patience!
What sayest thou? Hence! Horrible villain, or I'll spurn thine eyes like balls before me. I'll unhair thy head. Thou shalt be whipped with wire and stewed in brine.
I that do bring the news made not the match.
Say 'tis not so. A province will I give thee, and make thy fortunes proud. The blow thou hast shall make thy peace for moving me to rage, and I will boot thee with what gift besides thy modesty can beg.
He's married, madam.
Rogue, thou hast lived too long.
Nay, then I'll run. What mean you, madam? I have made no fault.
Charmian, I canst not hear thee.
Sorry, madame. Good madam, keep yourself within yourself. The man is innocent.
From innocence escape not the thunderbolt. Melt Egypt into Nile, and kindly creatures turn all to serpents. Call the slave again. Though I am mad, I will not bite him. Call.
He is afeard to come.
I will not hurt him. These hands do not lack nobility, that they strike the meaner than myself, since I myself have given myself cause. Come hither, sir. Though it be honest, it is never good to bring bad news. Give to gracious message an host of tongues, but let ill tidings tell themselves when they be felt.
I have done my duty.
Is he married? Cannot hate thee worse than I do, if thou again say yes.
He's married, madam.
Gods confound thee! Dost thou hold here still?
Should I lie, madam?
Why would thou didst, so half my Egypt were submerged and made a cistern for scaled snakes. Go, get thee hence. Hadst thou Narcissus in thy face, to me thou wouldst appear most ugly. He is married.
I crave your highness' pardon.
He is married.
Take no offense that I would not offend you. To punish me for what you make me do seems much unequal. He's married to Octavia.
Oh, that his fault should make a knave of thee, that art not what thou art sure of. Get thee hence. The merchandise which thou hast brought from Rome are all too dear for me. Lie they upon thy hand, and be undone by 'em.
Good madam, patience.
In praising Antony, I have dispraised Caesar.
Many times, madam.
I am paid for it now. Lead me from hence. I faint. Oh, Iris, Charmian, 'tis no matter. Go to the fellow, good Alexis. Bid him report the feature of Octavia. Her years, her inclination. Let him not leave out the color of her hair. Bring me word quickly. Let him forever go. Let him not, Charmian, though he be painted one way like the Gorgon, the other ways of Mars. Bid you, Alexis, bring me word how tall she is. See me, Charmian, but do not speak to me. Lead me to my chamber.
Your hostages I have, so have you mine, and we shall talk before we fight.
Most meet that first we come to words, and therefore have we our written purposes before us sent, which if thou hast considered, let us know if 'twill tie up thy discontented sword, and carry back to Sicily much tall youth that else must perish here.
To you all three, the senators alone of this great world, chief factors for the gods, I do not know, wherefore my father should revengers want, having a son and friends, since Julius Caesar, who at Philippi the good Brutus ghosted, there saw you laboring for him. What was that moved pale Cassius to conspire, and what made the all-honored honest Roman Brutus, with the armed rest, courtiers, and beauteous freedom, to drench the capital, but that they would have one man but a man, and that it is half made me rig my navy, at whose burden the anchor ocean foams, from which I meant to scourge the ingratitude that despiteful Rome cast upon my noble father.
Take your time.
Thou canst not fear us, Pompey, with thy sails. We'll speak with thee at sea. At land thou knowest how much we do o'ercount thee.
At land indeed. Thou dost o'ercount me of my father's house, but since the cuckoo builds not for himself, remaineth as thou mayest.
Well, be pleased to tell us, for this is from the present how you take the offers we have sent you.
You have made me offer of Sicily, Sardinia, and I must rid all the sea of pirates. Then to send measures of wheat to Rome, this agreed upon to part with unhacked edges and bear back our charges undinted.
That's our offer.
No, then, I came before you, here a man prepared to take this offer. But Mark Antony put me to some impatience, though I lose the praise of it by telling, you must know when Caesar and your brother were at blows, your mother came to Sicily and did find her welcome friendly.
I have heard it, Pompey, and I am well studied for a liberal thanks which I do owe you.
Let me have your hand. I did not think, sir, to have met you here.
The beds in the east are soft, and thanks to you, that called me timelier than my purpose hither, for I have gained by it.
Since I saw you last, there is a change upon you.
Well, I know not what Count's harsh fortune casts upon my face, but in my bosom shall she never come to make my heart her vassal.
Well met here.
I hope so, Lepidus. Thus we are agreed. I crave our composition may be written and sealed between us.
That's the next to do.
We'll feast each other ere we part, and let's draw lots to who shall begin.
That will I, Pompey.
No, Antony, take the lot. But first or last, your fine Egyptian cookery shall have the fame. I have heard that Julius Caesar grew fat with feasting there.
You have heard much.
I have fair meanings, sir.
And fair words to them.
Then so much I have heard, and I have heard Adonis carried.
No more of that. He did so.
What, I pray you?
A certain queen to Caesar in a mattress.
I know thee now. How farest thou, soldier?
Well, and well I'm like to do, for I perceive 4 feasts are toward.
Let me shake thy hand. I never hated thee. I have seen thee fight when I have envied thy behavior.
Sir, I never loved you much, but I have praised thee, when you have well deserved 10 times as much as I have said you did.
Enjoy thy plainness. Nothing ill becomes thee. Aboard my galley I invite you all. Will you lead, lords?
Show us the way, sir.
Come.
Thy father Pompey would ne'er have made this treaty. You and I have known, sir.
At sea, I think.
We have, sir.
You've done well by water.
And you by land.
I will praise any man that will praise me, though it cannot be denied what I have done by land.
Nor what I have done by water.
Yes, something you can deny for your own safety. You've been a great thief by sea.
And you by land.
Oh, there I deny my land service. But give me your hand, Menaeus. We came hither to fight with you.
For my part, I am sorry it has turned to a drinking. Pompey doth this day laugh away his fortune.
If he do, sure, he cannot weep it back again.
You've said, sir. We looked not for Mark Antony here. Pray you, is he married to Cleopatra?
Caesar's sister is called Octavia.
True, sir. She was the wife of Caius Marcellus.
But she is now the wife of Marcus Antonius.
Pray ye, sir.
It is true.
Then is Caesar and he forever knit together.
If I were bound to divine of this unity, I would not prophesy so.
I think the policy of that purpose made more in the marriage than the love of the parties.
I think so too. But you shall find the band that seems to tie their friendship together will be the very strangler of their amity. Octavia is of a holy, cold, and still conversation.
Who would not have his wife so?
Not he that himself is not so, which is Mark Antony. He will to his Egyptian dish again. Then shall the sighs of Octavia blow the fire up in Caesar. And as I said before, that which is the strength of their amity shall prove the immediate author of their variance. Antony will use his affection where it is. He married but his occasion here.
And thus it may be. Come, sir, will you aboard? I have a health for you.
I shall take it, sir. We have used our throats in Egypt.
Come, let's away.
Thus do they, sir. They take the flow of the Nile by certain scales in the pyramid. They know by the height, the lowness, or the mean, if dearth or foison follow. The higher Nilus swells, the more it promises. As it ebbs, the seedsman upon the slime and ooze scatters his grain, and shortly comes to harvest.
Well, you've strange serpents there.
Ah, Lepidus.
Sit, and some wine. A health to Lepidus.
Oh, I am not so well as I should be, but I'll near it out.
Oh, not till you've slept. I fear me you'll be in till then.
Oh, nay. Certainly, I have heard the Ptolemies, the Pyrameses are very goodly things. Without contradiction, I have heard that.
Pompey, a word?
Stay in mine ear. What's...
Forsake thy seat, I do beseech thee, captain, and hear me speak a word.
Forbear me till anon. This wine for Lepidus.
What manner of thing is your crocodile?
It is shaped, sir, like itself, and it is as broad as it has breadth, and it is just so high as it is.
Well, what color is it of?
Of its own color, too.
Oh, 'tis a strange serpent.
Is so, and the tears of it are wet.
Go hang, sir, hang. Tell me of that. Away. Do as I bid you. Where's this cup I called for?
If for the sake of merit thou wilt hear me, rise from thy stool.
I think thou'rt mad. The matter?
I have ever held my cap off to thy fortunes.
Thou hast served me with much face. What else to say? Be jolly, lords.
These quicksands, Lepidus, keep off them, for you sink.
Wilt thou be lord of all the world?
What sayest thou?
Wilt thou be lord of the whole world? That's twice.
How should that be?
But entertain it. And though thou think me poor, I am the man will give thee all the world.
Hast thou drunk well?
Now, Pompey, I have kept me from the cup. Thou art, if thou darest be, the earthly Jove. Whate'er the ocean pales or sky eclipse is thine, if thou wilt hat.
Show me which way.
These three world sharers, these competitors, are in thy vessel. Let me cut the cable. And when we are put off, fall to their throats. All there is thine.
This thou shouldn't have done, and not have spoke on. In me 'tis villainy, in thee had been good service. Thou must know 'tis not my profit that does lean mine honor it. Repent that ere thy tongue hath so betrayed thine act. Having been done undone, I should have found it afterwards well done, but must condemn it now. Desist and drink.
Oh, for this I'll never follow thy palled fortunes more. Who seeks and will not take once 'tis offered, shall never find it more.
This health to Lepidus.
Bear him ashore. I'll pledge it to him, Pompey.
Here's to thee, Menaeus.
Anabarbus, welcome.
Fill till the cup be hid.
There's a strong fellow, Menaeus.
Why?
Bears the third part of the world, man. Seest not?
The third part, then, is drunk. Would it were all that it might go on wheels.
Drink thou, increase the reels.
Come.
This is not yet an Alexandrian feast.
It ripens towards it. Strike the vessels, ho! Here is to Caesar.
I could well forbear it. It's monstrous labor when I wash my brain and it grows fouler.
Be a child of the time.
Possess it, I'll make answer, but I had rather fast from all 4 days than drink so much in one.
Ha, my brave emperor.
What would you more? Pompey, good night. Good brother, let me request you off. Our graver business frowns at this levity. Gentle lords, let's part. Good Antony, your hand.
I'll try you on the shore.
And shall, sir. Gives your hand.
Oh, Antony, you have my father's house. But what? We are friends. Come, down into the boat.
Take heed you fall not. Menaeus, I'm not on shore.
No, to my cabin. These drums, these trumpets, flutes, what? Let Neptune hear we bid a loud farewell to these great fellows. Sound and be hanged, sound out!
Ho, Caesar, there's my cap.
Ho, noble captain, come.
Act 3. What? Are the brothers parted?
They've dispatched with Pompey. He's gone. The other three are sealing. Octavia weeps to part from Rome. Caesar is sad. And Lepidus, since Pompey's feast is, as Menaeus says, is troubled with the green sickness.
It's a noble Lepidus.
A very fine one. Oh, how he loves Caesar.
Nay, but how dearly he adores Mark Antony.
Caesar? Why, he's the Jupiter of men.
What's Antony, the god of Jupiter?
Spake you of Caesar? How the nonpareil?
Oh, Antony. Oh, thou Arabian bird.
Would you praise Caesar? Say Caesar. Go no further.
Indeed, he plied them both with excellent praises.
Oh, but he loves Caesar best. Yet he loves Antony.
Both he loves.
They are his shards, and he their beetle.
So, this is to horse. Adieu. Oh.
Adieu, noble Agrippa.
Good fortune, worthy soldier, and farewell.
No further, sir.
You take from me a great part of myself. Use me well in it. Sister, prove such a wife as my thoughts make thee. Most noble Antony, let not the piece of virtue, which is set betwixt us as the cement of our love, to keep it builded, be the ram to batter the fortress of it. For better might we have loved without this mean, if on both parts this not be cherished.
Make me not offended in your distrust.
I have said.
You shall not find, though you be therein curious, the least cause for what you seem to fear. So the gods keep you, and make the hearts of Romans serve your ends. We will here part.
Farewell, my dearest sister. Fare thee well.
Sir, look well to my husband's house, and
What, Octavia?
I'll tell you in your ear.
Her tongue will not obey her heart, nor can her heart inform her tongue. The swan's down feather that stands upon the swell at full of tide, and neither way inclines.
Caesar weep?
There's a cloud in his face.
We're the worse for that. Were he a horse, so he is, being a man.
Why, Anabarbus, when Antony found Julius Caesar dead, he cried almost to roaring, and he wept when at Philippi he found Brutus slain.
Now, that year, indeed, he was troubled with a rheum. What willing he did confound, he wailed. Believe it, till I wept too.
Oh, sweet Octavia, you shall hear from me still. The time shall not outgo my thinking on you.
Come, sir, come. I'll wrestle with you in my strength of love. Look, here I have you. Thus I let you go, and give you to the gods.
Adieu. Be happy.
Let all the number of the stars give light to thy fair way.
Farewell. Farewell.
Farewell.
Where is the fellow?
Hath appeared to come.
Go to. Come hither, sir.
Most gracious majesty.
Didst thou behold Octavia?
I, dread queen.
Where?
Madam, in Rome. I looked her in the face and saw her led between her brother and Mark.
Is she as tall as me?
She is not, madam.
Didst thou hear her speak? Is she shrill-tongued or low?
Madam, I heard her speak. She is low.
That's not so good. He cannot like her long.
Like her? Oh, Isis, 'tis impossible.
I think so. Dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is in her gait? Remember, if e'er thou look'st on majesty.
She creeps. Her motion and her station are as one. She shows a body rather than a life, a statue than a breather.
Is this certain?
For I have no observance.
3 in Egypt cannot make better note.
He's very knowing. I do perceive there's nothing in her yet. The fellow has good judgment.
Excellent.
Bearest thou her face in mind? Is it long or round?
Round, even to faultiness.
For the most part, too, they are foolish that are so. Thou must not take my former sharpness ill. I will employ thee back again. I find thee most fit for business. No, make thee ready.
A proper man.
Indeed, he is so. I repent me much that I so harried him. Methinks by him this creature's no such thing.
Nothing, madam.
The man hath seen some majesty, and should know.
Hath he seen majesty? Isis else defend, and serving you so long?
I have one thing more to ask him yet, good Charmian. 'Tis no matter, thou shalt bring him to me where I will write, and maybe well enough.
I warrant you, madam.
Nay, Octavia, not only that were excusable, that, and thousands more of semblance and port. But he hath waged new wars against Pompey, made his will and read it to public ear, spoke scantly of me, when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor. Cold and sickly he vented them, most narrow measure lent me. When the best hint was given him, he not took it, or did it from his teeth.
My good lord, believe not all, or if you must believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady, if this division chance, ne'er stood between, praying for both parts.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw thee to that point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. Better I were not yours than to yours so branchless. But as you requested, yourself shall go betweens. The meantime, lady, I'll raise the preparation of a war, shall stain your brother, make your soonest haste, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my lord. The Jove of power make me most weak, your reconciler. Wars twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should solder up the rift.
When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way. For our faults can never be so equal that your love can equally move with them. Provide you are going, choose your own company, and command what cost your heart has mind to it.
How now, friend Eros?
There's strange news. Come, sir.
What, man?
Caesar and Lepidus have made wars upon Pompey.
This is old. What's the success?
Caesar, having made use of him in the wars against Pompey, presently denied him rivality, would not let him partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly wrote to Pompey. Upon his own appeal, seizes him. So the poor third is up till death enlarge his confine.
Then, world, thou hast a pair of chaps no more. And throw between them all the food thou hast. They'll grind one the other. Where's Antony?
He's walking in the garden, thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him, cries, "Fool Lepidus," and threats the throat of that his officer that murdered Pompey.
Our great navy's rigged.
For Italy and Caesar. More, Domitius. My lord desires you presently. My news I might have told hereafter.
'Twill be naught, but let it be. Bring me to Antony.
Come, sir.
Contemning Rome, he has done all this and more in Alexandria. Here's the manner of it. In the marketplace, on a tribunal silvered, Cleopatra and himself in chairs of gold were publicly enthroned. At the feet sat Caesarion, whom they call my father's son, and all the unlawful issue that their lust since then hath made between them. Unto her he gave the establishment of Egypt, made her of Lower Syria, Cyprus, Lydia, absolute queen.
This in the public eye?
The common showplace where they exercise his sons, he there proclaimed the kings of kings, great Medea, Parthia, and Armenia. He gave to Alexander, to Ptolemy he assigned Syria, Sicilia, and Phoenicia. She, in the habiliments of the goddess Isis, that day appeared, and oft before gave audience, as 'tis reported so.
Let Rome be thus informed.
Who, queasy with his insolence already, will their good thoughts call from him?
The people know it, and have now received his accusations.
Who does he accuse?
Caesar, and that, having in Sicily Sextus Pompeius spoiled, we had not raided him, his part of the isle. Then, does he say? He lent me some shipping unrestored. Lastly, he frets that Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed, and being that we detain all his revenue.
Sir, this should be answered.
It is done already, and the messenger gone. I have told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he his high authority abused, and did deserve his change. For what I have conquered, I grant him part. But then, in his Armenia and other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like.
He'll never yield to that.
Nor must not then be yielded to in this.
Hail, Caesar, and my lord, hail, most dear Caesar.
That ever I should call thee castaway.
You have not called me so, nor have you cause.
Why have you stolen upon us thus? You come not like Caesar's sister. The wife of Antony should have an army for an usher, and the neighs of horses to tell of her approach, long ere did she appear.
Good my lord, to come thus was I not constrained, but did on my free will. My lord, Mark Antony, hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted my grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon to return.
Yes, which soon he granted, being an obstruct between his lust and him.
Do not say so, my lord.
I have eyes upon him, and his affairs come to me on the wind. Where is he now?
My lord, in Athens.
No, my most wronged sister, Cleopatra hath nodded him to her. He hath given his empire up to a whore, who are now levying the kings of the earth for war, with a more larger list of scepters.
Ay me, most wretched, that have my heart parted betwixt two friends that do afflict each other.
Welcome hither. Your letters did withhold our breaking forth, till we perceived both how you were wrong led and we in negligent danger. Cheer your heart. Be you not troubled with the time which drives o'er your content these strong necessities, but let determined things to destiny hold unbewailed their way. Welcome to Rome, nothing more dear to me. You are abused beyond the mark of thought, and the high gods to do you justice. Make them ministers of us and those that love you. Best of comfort, and ever welcome to us.
Welcome, lady.
Welcome, dear madam. Each heart in Rome does love and pity you. Only the adulterous Antony, most large in his abominations, turns you off and gives his potent regiment to a trull that noises it against us.
Is it so, sir?
Most certain. Sister, welcome. Pray you, be ever known to patience. My dearest sister.
I will be even with thee, doubt it not.
But why? Why?
Thou hast forspoke my being in these wars, and sayest it is not fit.
Well, is it? Is it?
If it not denounced against us, why should not we be there in person?
Oh, I could reply. If we should serve with horse and mares together, a horse were merely lost. The mares would bear the soldier and his horse.
What is it you say?
Oh, your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from his time, which should not then be spared. He is already traduced for levity. 'Tis said in Rome that Photinus and eunuch and your maids manage this world.
Sink Rome, and their tongues rot that speak against us. A charge we bear in the war, and as the president of my kingdom will appear there for a man. Speak not against it, I will not stay behind.
Nay, I have done. Here comes the emperor.
Is it not strange, Canidius? He could so quickly outcut the Ionian Sea and take in Turin. Have you heard on it, sweet?
Certainly is never more admired than by the negligent.
A good rebuke, which might have well become the best of men, to taught slackness. Canidius, we will fight him by sea.
By sea? What else?
Why will my lord do so?
For that he dares us to it.
So hath my lord dared him to a single fight.
Aye, and to wage this battle at Pharsalia, where Caesar fought with Pompey. But these offers which serve not for his vantage, he shakes off, and so should you.
Your ships are not well manned. The ships are yare, yours heavy. No disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea. Be prepared for land.
By sea, by sea.
Most worthy sir, you therein throw away the way which promises assurance, and give up yourself merely to chance and hazard from firm security.
I'll fight at sea.
I have 60 sails. Caesar none better.
Our overplus of shipping will we burn, and with the rest full manned from the head of Actium, beat the approaching Caesar. But if we fail, we can then do it at land. Thy business.
The news is true, my lord. He is descried. Caesar has taken friend.
Can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Strange that power should be. Canidius, our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 12,000 horse. We'll to our ship. Away, my Thetis. How now, worthy soldier?
Oh, noble emperor, do not fight by sea. Trust not to rotten planks. Do you misdoubt this sword and these my wounds? Let the Egyptians and the Phoenicians go a-ducking. We have used to conquer, standing on the earth and fighting foot to foot.
Well, away.
Not all. Not. I can behold no longer. The Antony, the Egyptian admiral, with all their 60 fly and turn the rudder. Oh, to see it, mine eyes are blasted.
Gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them.
What's thy passion?
The greater cantle of the world is lost with that very ignorance. We have kissed away kingdoms and provinces.
How appears the fight?
On our side, like the tokened pestilence, where death is sure. Yon ribbarded nag of Egypt, whom leprosy overtake. I' the midst of the fight, when vantage like a pair of twins appeared, both as the same, or rather ours the elder, the breeze upon her, like a cow in June, hoist sails and flies.
Oh, that I behold. Mine eyes did sicken at the sight, could not endure a further view. Oh.
She once being loofed, the noble ruin of her magic, Antony, claps on his sea wing, and like a doting mallard, leaving the fight in height, flies after her. I never saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor, ne'er before did violate so itself.
Alack, alack.
Our fortune on the sea is out of breath and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, he is given example for in our flight, most grossly by his own.
Aye. Are you thereabouts? Why then, good night indeed.
Towards Peloponnesus are they fled.
'Tis easy to it, and there I will attend what further comes.
To Caesar will I render my legions and my horse. 6 kings already show me the way of yielding.
I'll yet follow the wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits in the wind against me.
Hark, the land bids me tread no more upon it. 'Tis a shame to bear me. Friends, come hither. I am so lated in the world that I have lost my way forever. I have a ship laden with gold. Take that, divide it, fly, and make your peace with Caesar.
Fly? Not I.
I have fled myself and have instructed cowards to run and show their soldiers. Friends, be gone. I have myself resolved upon a course which has no need of you. Be gone, my treasures in the harbor. Take it. Oh, I followed that I blush to look upon. My very hairs do mutiny. Look not sad, nor make no replies of loathness. Take the hint which my despair proclaims. Let that be left which leaves itself. To the seaside straight away, I will possess you of that ship and treasure. Leave me, I pray, a little, pray you now. Nay, do so, for indeed I have lost command. Therefore I pray you, I'll see you by and by.
Nay, gentle madam, to him, comfort him.
Do, most dear queen.
Do? Why? What else?
Let me sit down. Oh, Juno.
No. No.
See you here, sir.
Fie.
Madam! Madam, oh good empress.
Sir.
Yes, my lord, yes. He at Philippi kept his sword even like a dancer, while I struck the lean and wrinkled Cassius. And 'twas I that the mad Brutus ended. He alone dealt on lieutenancy, and no practice had in the brave squares of war. Yet now, no matter.
Stand by.
The queen, my lord, the queen.
Go to him, madam. Speak to him. He is unquieted with very shame.
Well then, sustain him. Oh.
Most noble sir, arise. The queen approaches. Her head's declined, and death will seize her, but your comfort makes the rescue.
I have offended reputation, the most unnoble swerving.
Sir, the queen.
Oh. Whither hast thou led me, Egypt? See how I convey my shame out of thine eyes by looking back at what I have left behind, destroyed in dishonor.
Oh, my lord, forgive my fearful sails. I little thought you would have followed.
Egypt, you knewest too well my heart was thy rudder, tied by thy strings, and thou shouldst know, and thou shouldst tow me after, or my spirit, thy full supremacy thou knewest, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods command me.
Oh, my pardon.
Now I must to the young men send humble treaties, who, with half the bulk of the world, played as I pleased, making and marring fortunes. You did know how much you were my conqueror, and that my sword made me weak by affection, would obey it on all cause.
Pardon.
Fall not a tear, I say. One of them rates all that is won and lost. Give me a kiss. Even this repays me. We send our schoolmaster. Does he come back? Love, I am full of lead. Some wine within there, and for our viands. Fortune knows, we scorn her most when most she offers blows.
Let him appear that comes from Antony. Know you him?
Caesar, 'tis his schoolmaster. An argument that he is plucked when hither he sends so poor opinion of his wing, which had superfluous kings for messengers not many moons gone by.
Approach and speak.
Such as I am, I come from Antony. I was of late as petty to his ends, as is the morn dew on the myrtle leaf to his grand sea.
Be it so. Declare thine office.
Lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee and requires to live in Egypt, which not granted, he lessens his requests, and to thee sues to let him breathe between the heavens and earth. A private man in Athens, this for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craves the circle of the Ptolemies for her heirs, now hazarded to thy grace.
For Antony, I have no ears to his request. The queen of audience nor desire shall fail. So she from Egypt drive her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This, if she perform, she shall not sue unheard. So, to them both.
Fortune pursue thee.
Bring him through the bands. From Antony win Cleopatra. Promise, and in our name, what she requires, add more from thine invention. Offers, women are not in their best fortunes strong, but want will perjure the never touched vestal. Try thy cunning. Furious, make thine own edict for thy pains, which we will answer as a law.
Caesar, I go.
Observe how Antony becomes his flaw, and what thou think'st his very action speaks in every power that moves.
Caesar, I shall.
What shall we do, Anabaris?
Think and die.
Is Antony or we in fault for this?
Antony only, that would make his will lord of his reason. What though you fled from that great face of war, whose several ranges frighted each other? Why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then have nicked his captainship. At such a point, when half to half the world opposed, he being the mirrored question, it was a shame no less than was his loss, to course your flying flags and leave his navy gazing.
Prithee, peace.
Is that his answer?
Aye, my lord.
The queen shall have then courtesy, so she will yield us up.
He says so.
Let her know it. So the boy Caesar send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities.
That head, my lord.
To him again. Tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular. His coins, ships, legions may be a coward's, whose ministers would prevail under the service of a child as soon as in the command of Caesar. I dare him, therefore, to lay his gay comparisons apart and answer me declined. Sword against sword, ourselves alone. I'll write it. Follow me.
Yes. Like enough, high-battled Caesar will unstate his happiness and be staged to the show against a sworder. I see men's judgments are a parcel of their fortunes. That he should dream, knowing all measures. The full Caesar will answer his emptiness. Caesar, thou hast subdued his judgment too.
A messenger from Caesar.
What? No more ceremony? See my women. Against the blown rose may they stop their nose that kneeled unto the buds. Admit him, sir.
Mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well had to fools does made our faith mere folly. Yet he that can endure to follow with allegiance of fallen lord does conquer him that did his master conquer and earns a place in the story.
Caesar's will?
Here to part.
None but friends. Say boldly.
So, happily, are they friends to Antony?
He needs as many, sir, as Caesar has, or needs not us. If Caesar please, our master will leap to be his friend for us. It will leap to be his friend. For us, you know, who he is, we are, and that is Caesar's.
So, thus then, thou most renowned Caesar entreats, not to consider in what case thou standst, further than he is Caesar.
Go on. Right royal.
He knows that you embrace not Antony as you did love, but as you feared him.
Oh!
The scars upon your honor, therefore, he does pity, as constrained blemishes, not as deserved.
He is a god, and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely.
To be sure of that, I will ask Antony. Sir, thou art so leaky that we must leave thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee.
Shall I say to Caesar what you require of him? For he partly begs to be desired to give. It much would please him that of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean upon. But it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony and put yourself under his shroud, the universal landlord.
What's your name?
My name is Theorus.
Most kind messenger, say to great Caesar this. In deputation, I kiss his conquering hand. Tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at his feet, and there to kneel. Tell him from his all-obeying breath, I hear the doom of Egypt.
'Tis your noblest course, wisdom and fortune combating together. If that the former dare but what it can, no chance may shake it. Give me grace to lay my duty on your hand.
Your Caesar's father oft, when he hath mused of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that unworthy place, as it rained kisses.
Favors by Jove that thunders. What art thou, fellow?
One that performs the bidding of the fullest man and worthiest to have command obeyed.
You will be whipped.
Approach there. Ah, you kite. Now gods and devils, authority melts from me. Of late, when I cried ho, like boys unto a muss, kings would start forth and cry, your will. Have you no ears? I am Antony yet. You take hence this jack and hit him.
It's better playing with a lion's whelp than with an old one dying.
Moon and stars, whip him, or it's 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them so saucy with the hand of she here. What's her name? Since she was Cleopatra. Whip him, fellows, till, like a boy, you see him cringe his face and whine aloud for mercy. Take him hence.
Mark Antony!
Tug him away. Being whipped, bring him again. This jack of Caesar shall bear us an errand to him. You were half blasted ere I knew you. Ha! Have I my pillow left unpressed in Rome, forborne the getting of a lawful race, and by a gym of women to be abused by one that looks on feeders?
Good my lord.
You have been a boggler ever, but when we in our viciousness grow hard, oh misery on it. Wise God, seal our eyes, in our own filth drop our clear judgments, make us adore our errors, laugh at while we strut to our confusion.
How is it come to this?
I found you as a morsel cold upon dead Caesar's trencher. Nay, you were a fragment of Cineas Pompey's. Besides, what hotter hours, unregistered and vulgar frame, you have luxuriously picked out. For I am sure that you can guess what temperance should be. You know not what it is.
Wherefore is this?
To let a fellow that will take rewards and say, God quit you, be familiar with my playfellow, your hand, this kingly seal and plighter of high hearts, that I were upon the hill of Basin to outroar the horned herd, for I have savage cause, and to proclaim it civilly were like a halter neck, which does not the hangman thank for being yare about him.
Oh,
is he whipped?
Soundly, my lord.
Cried he, and begged a pardon.
He did ask favor.
If that thy father live, let him repent. Thou was not made his daughter, and thou be sorry to follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped for following him. Henceforth the white hand of a lady fever thee. Shake thou to look upon it. Get thee back to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment. Look, thou say, he makes me angry with him, for he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am, not what he knew I was. He makes me angry, and at this time most easy 'tis to do it, when my good ears that were my former guides have empty left their orbs and shot their fires into the abysm of hell. He must mislike my speech and what is done, tell him he has Hipparchus, my enfranchised boardman, whom he may at pleasure whip or hang or torture as he shall like to quit me. Urge it thou, hence with thy stripes. Be gone.
Have you done yet?
Alack, our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony.
I must stay his time.
Flatter Caesar, would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points?
Not know me yet.
Cold-hearted toward me?
Ah, dear, if I be so, from my cold heart let heaven engender hail, and poison it in the source, and the first stone drop in my neck, as it determined so dissolve my life, the next Caesarean smite, till by degrees the memory of my womb, together with my brave Egyptians all, by the discandying of this pelted storm, lie graveless, till the flies and gnats of Nile have buried them for prey.
I am satisfied. Caesar sits down in Alexandria, where I will oppose his fate. Our force by land hath nobly held our severed navy too, have knit again, and fleet, threatening most sea-like, where hast thou been, my heart? Dost thou hear, lady? If from the field I shall return once more to kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. I and my sword will earn our chronicle. There's hope in it yet.
That's my brave lord.
I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathed, and fight maliciously, for when mine hours were nice and lurky, men did ransom lives of me for jests. But now I'll set my teeth and send to darkness all that stop me. Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me all my sad captains. Fill our bowls once more. Let's mock the midnight bell.
It is my birthday. I had thought to have held it poor, but since my lord is Antony again, I will be Cleopatra.
We will yet do well.
Call all his noble captains to my lord.
Do so. We'll speak to them, and tonight I'll force the wine peep through their scars. Come on, my queen. There's sap in it yet. The next time I do fight, I'll make death love me, for I will contend even with his pestilent scythe.
Now he'll outstare the lightning. To be furious is to be frighted out of fear. And in that mood, the dove will peck the ostrich. And I see still a diminution in our captain's brain, restores his heart. When valor preys on reason, it eats the sword it fights with. I will seek some way to leave him.
Act 4.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt. My messenger he hath whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat, Caesar to Antony. Let the old ruffian know I have many other ways to die. Meantime, laugh at his challenge.
Caesar must think. When one so great begins to rage, he's hunted even to falling. Give him no breath, but now make boot of his distraction. Never anger made good guard for itself.
Let our best heads know that tomorrow the last of many battles we mean to fight. Within our files there are of those that served Mark Antony but late, enough to fetch him in, see it done, and feast the army. We haven't stored to do it, and they have earned the waste. Oh, poor Antony.
He will not fight with me, Domitius.
No.
Why should he not?
He thinks, being 20 times of better fortune, he is 20 men to 1.
Tomorrow, soldier, by sea and land I'll fight, or I will live or bathe my dying honor in the blood. Shall we make it live again? Woot, thou fight well.
I'll strike and cry, take all.
Well said. Come on, call forth my household servants. Let tonight be bounteous at our meal. Give me thy hand. Thou hast been rightly honest, so hast thou. Thou. You have served me well, and kings have been your fellows.
What means this?
'Tis one of those odd tricks which sorrow shoots out of the mind.
And thou art honest too. I wish I could be made so many men, and all of you clapped up together in an Antony, that I might do you service so good as you have done.
Gods forbid.
Well, my good fellows, wait on me tonight. Scant not my cups, and make as much of me as when mine empire was your fellow too, and suffered my command.
What does he mean?
His followers weep.
Tend me tonight. May be it is the period of your duty. Happily, you shall not see me more the mangled chatter. Perchance tomorrow you'll serve another master. I ask no more. And the gods yield you for it.
What mean you, sir, to give them this discomfort? Look, they weep. And I, an ass, am onion-eyed. Shame. Transform us not into women.
Ho, ho, ho. How the witch take me, if I meant it thus. Grace grow where those drops fall, my hearty friends. You take me in too dolorous a sense. For I spake to you for your comfort, did desire you to burn this night with torches. Know my hearts. I hope well of tomorrow, and will lead you where rather I expect victorious life that dealt honor. Let's to supper. Come and drown consideration. Eros, mine armor, Eros.
Sleep a little.
No, my chuck. Eros, come, mine armor, Eros. Come, good fellow, put mine iron on. If fortune be not ours today, it is because we brave her. Come.
Nay, I'll help you. What's this for?
Let be. Thou art the armorer of my heart. False. This.
Sooth, la. I'll help. Thus it must be.
Well. We shall thrive now. Seest thou, my good fellow? Go, put on thy defenses.
Briefly, sir.
Is not this buckled well?
Rarely. He that unbuckles this till we do please to daft for our repose shall hear a storm. Thou fumblest, Eros, and my queen's esquire more tight at this than thou. Dispatch. O love, that thou couldst see my wars today, and knewest the royal occupation. Thou shouldst see a workman in it. Good morrow thee, welcome. Thou lookest like him that knows a warlike charge. To business that we love, we rise betime, and go to it with delight.
1,000, sir. Early those be have on their riveted trim, and at the port expect you.
Morn is fair. Good morrow, General.
'Tis well blown, lads. This morning, like the spirit of a youth that means to be of note, begins betimes. Fare thee well, dame. Whate'er becomes of me, this is a soldier's kiss, rebukable, and worthy shameful check it were. To stand on more mechanic compliment, I'll leave thee now, like a man of steel. You that will fight, follow me close. I'll bring you to it. Adieu.
Please you, retire to your chamber.
Lead me. He goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might determine this great war in single fight. Then Antony. Now. Well on.
The gods make this a happy day to Antony.
Would thou and those scars had once prevailed to make me fight at land.
Hadst thou done so, the kings that had revolted and the soldier that had this morning left thee would have still followed thy heels.
Who's gone this morning?
Who? One ever near thee. Call for Enobarbarus, he shall not hear thee. Or from Caesar's camp, say, I am none of thine.
What sayest thou?
Sir, he is with Caesar.
Sir, His chests and treasure he has not with him.
Is he gone?
Most certain.
Go, Eros. Send his treasure after. Do it. Detain no jot, I charge thee. Write to him. I will subscribe. Gentle adieus and greetings. Say that I wish he never find more cause to change a master. My fortunes have corrupted honest men. Dispatch, Enobarbus.
Go forth, Agrippa, and begin the fight. Our will is Antony be took alive. Make it so known.
Caesar, I shall.
The time of universal peace is near. Prove this a prosperous day. The three-nooked world shall bear the olive freely.
Antony is come into the field.
Go charge, Agrippa. Plant those that have revolted in the van, that Antony may seem to spend his fury upon himself.
I've done it. I've done ill, of which I do accuse myself so sorely that I will joy no more.
Enobarbus, Antony hath after thee sent all thy treasure, with his bounty over plus. The messenger came on my guard, and at thy tent is now unloading of his mules.
I give it to you.
Mock not, Enobarbus. I tell you true. Best you safed the bringer out of the host. I must attend mine office, or would have done to myself. Your emperor continues still a Jove.
I am alone the villain of the earth, and feel I am so most. Oh, Antony, thou mine of bounty, how wouldst thou have paid my better service? When my turpitude thou dost so crown with gold. Oh, this blows my heart. If swift thought break it not, the swifter means shall outstrike thought. But thought won't do it. I fight against thee. No, I will go seek some ditch wherein to die. The foulest best fits my latter part of life. Oh.
Retire. We have engaged ourselves too far. Caesar himself has work, and our oppression exceeds what we expected.
Oh, my brave emperor, this is fought indeed. Had we done so at first, we had driven them home with clouts about their heads.
They do retire.
We'll beat them into bench holes. I have yet room for 6 scotches more.
They are beaten, sir, and our advantage serves for a fair victory.
Let us score their backs and snatch them up as we take hares behind. 'Tis sport to maul a runner.
I will reward thee once for thy sprightly comfort, and tenfold for thy good valor. Come thee on.
I'll halt after.
We have beat him to his camp. Run one before, and let the queen know of our guests. Tomorrow, before the sun shall cease, we'll spill the blood that has today escaped. I thank you all, for doughty-handed are you, and have fought not as you served the cause, but as it had been each man's like mine. You have shown all Hectors. Enter the city, clip your wives, your friends, tell them your feats, whilst thou with joyful tears watch the congealment from your wounds, and kiss the honored gashes whole. Give me thy hand. To this great fairy I'll commend thy acts, make her thanks bless thee. O thou day of the world, chain mine armed neck, leap thou, attire and all, through proof of harness to my heart, and there ride the pants triumphing.
Lord of lords, O infinite virtue, comest thou smiling from the world's great snare uncaught?
My nightingale, we have beat them to their beds. What, girl? Though gray do something mingle with our younger brown, yet we had a brain that so nourishes our nerves and can get goal for goal of youth. Beyond this man, commend him unto his lips, thy favoring hand. Kiss it, my warrior. He hath fought today as if a god in hate of mankind hath destroyed such a shape.
I'll give thee, friend, an armor all of gold. It was a king's.
He has deserved it, were it carbuncled like holy Phoebus' car. Give me thy hand. Through Alexandria make a jolly march. Bear our hacked targets like men that owe them. Had our great palace the capacity to camp this host, we would all sup together and drink carouses to the next day's fate, which promises royal peril. Trumpeters with brazen din blast you the city's ear. Make mingle with rattling labors, tambourines, that heaven and earth may strike their sounds together, applauding our approach.
Oh, bear me witness, night. Be witness to me, O thou blessed moon, when men revolted shall upon record be their hateful memory. Poor Enobarbus did before thy face repent. Oh, sovereign mistress of true melancholy, the poisonous damp of night dispunge upon me, that life, a very rebel to my will, may hang no longer on me. Throw my heart against the flint and hardness of my fault, which being dried with grief will break to powder and finish all foul thoughts. Oh, Antony, nobler than my revolt is infamous. Forgive me in thine own particular, but let the world rank me in register a master leaver and a fugitive. Oh, Antony, oh, Antony, ah!
Their preparation is today by sea, will please them not by land.
For both, my lord.
I would they'd fight in the fire or in the air. We'd fight there too. But this it is, our foot upon the hills adjoining to the city shall stay with us. Order for sea is given. They have put forth the haven where their appointment we may best discover, and look unto their endeavor.
But being charged, we will be still by land, which, as I take it, we shall. For his best force is forth to man his galleys, to the vales, and hold our best advantage.
Yet they're not joined, where yon pine does stand. I shall discover all. I'll bring thee word straight, how 'tis is like to go.
Swallows have built in Cleopatra's sails their nests. The augurers say they know not, they cannot tell, look grimly and dare not speak their knowledge. Antony is valiant and dejected, and by starts his fretted fortunes give him hope and fear of what he has and has not.
All is lost. This foul Egyptian hath betrayed me. My fleet hath yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps up and carouse together like friends long lost. Triple turn to whore. 'Tis thou hast sold me to this novice, and my heart makes only wars on thee. Bid them all fly. From when I revenged upon my charm, I have done all. Bid them all fly, be gone. Son, thy uprise shall I see no more. Fortune and Antony part here. Even here do we shake hands. All come to this. Betrayed. This false soul of Egypt, this grave charm, whose eye becked forth my wars and called them home, whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end, beguiled me to the very heart of loss. What? Eros! Eros! Ah, thou spell of vaunt!
Why is my lord enraged against his love?
Vanish, or I shall give thee thy deserving and blemish Caesar's triumph. Let him take thee and hoist thee up in the shouting plebeians. Follow his chariot like the greatest spot of thy sex, most monster-like, be shown for poor diminutives, for doits and let Octavia plow thy visage up with her prepared nails. "'Tis well thou art gone, if it be well to live, but better 'twere thou fellest to my fury, for one death might have prevented many. The witch shall die, to that the young Roman boy she hath sold me, and I fall under this plot. She dies for it. Eros, ho!"
Help me, women. Oh, he is more mad than Telamon for his shield. The boar of Thessaly was never so embossed.
To the monument. There lock yourself and send him word you are dead. The soul and body rive, not more in parting than greatness going off.
The monument. Mardian, go tell him I have slain myself. Say that the last I spoke was Antony. And word it hideously, hence Mandarin, and bring me how he takes my death to the monument.
Eros, thou yet beholdst me.
Aye, noble lord.
Sometimes we see a cloud that's dragonish, a vapor sometimes like a bear or lion, a forked mountain or blue promontory with trees upon it, that nod unto the world and mock our eyes with air. Thou hast seen these signs. They are black Vespers pageants.
Aye, my lord.
That which is now a horse, even with a thought that racks his limbs and makes it indistinct as water is in water.
It does, my lord.
A good knave Eros. Now thy captain is even such a body. Here I am, Antony, yet cannot hold this visible shape. My knave, I made these wars for Egypt, and the queen, whose heart I thought I had, for she had mine, which while it was mine had annexed unto it 1,000,000 more, now lost. She, Eros, has packed cards with Caesar, and false played my glory unto an enemy's triumph. Now weep not, gentle Eros. There is left us ourselves to end ourselves. Oh, thy vile lady, she has robbed me of my sword.
No, Antony, my mistress loved thee, and her fortunes mingled with thine entirely.
Hence, saucy eunuch, peace. She hath betrayed me, and she shall die the death.
Death of one person can be paid but once, and that she has discharged. What thou wouldest do, unto thy hand, and last she spake, was Antony, most noble Antony. Then in midst of tearing groan did break. The name of Antony, it was divided. Between her heart and her lips she rendered life, thy name so buried in her.
Dead, then.
Dead.
Unarm, Eros. The long day's task is done, and we must sleep. That thou departest hence safe, thus pay thy labor richly. Go. Oh, cleave my sides. A heart once to be stronger than thy continent. Crack thy frail case. Apace, Eros, apace. No more, soldier. Bruised pieces go. You have been nobly born. From me, a while. I will overtake thee, Cleopatra, and weep for my pardon. So it must be. For now, all length is torture. Since the torch is out, lie down and stray no farther. And all is done. Eros, I come, my queen. Eros, say for me. Where souls do couch on flowers will hand in hand, and with our sprightly port make the ghost gaze. Dido and her Aeneas shall want troops, and all the haunt be ours. Come, Eros, Eros!
What would my lord?
Since Cleopatra died, I have lived in such dishonor that the guides detest my baseness. I that would my sword quartered the world, and o'er green Neptune's back with ships made cities, condemn myself to lack the courage of a woman, less noble mind that she, which by her death our Caesar tells. I am conqueror of myself. Thou art sworn, Eros, that, when the exigent should come, which now is come indeed, when I should see behind me the inevitable prosecution of disgrace and honor, that on my command thou then wouldst kill me. Do it. The time is come. Thou strikest not me. 'Tis Caesar thou defeatest. Put color in thy cheeks.
The gods withhold me. Shall I do that which all the Parthian darts, though enemy, lost aim and could not?
Eros, wouldst thou be windowed in great Rome, and see thy master thus, with pleached arms, bending down his corrigible neck, his face subdued to penetrative shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortunate Caesar, drawn before him, branded his baseness that ensued?
I would not see it.
Come then, for with a wound I must be cured. Draw that thy honest sword, which thou hast worn most useful for thy country.
Oh, sir, pardon me.
When I did make thee free, sworest thou not then to do this when I bade thee? Do it at once, or thy precedent services are all but accidents unpurposed. Draw and come.
Turn from me then, that noble countenance wherein the worship of the whole world lies.
Lo, thee.
My sword is drawn.
Then do it at once, the thing why thou hast drawn it.
My dear master, my captain and my emperor, let me say, before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell.
'Tis said, man. Farewell.
Farewell, great chief. Shall I strike now?
Now, Eros.
Why, there then, thus do I escape the sorrow of Antony's death.
Oh. Thrice nobler than myself, thou teachest me, O valiant Eros, what I should, and thou couldst not. My queen and Eros have by their brave instruction got upon me a nobleness in record. But I will be a bridegroom in my death, and run into it as to a lover's bed. Come then, and Eros, thy master dies thy scholar, to do it thus. I learned of thee. How? Oh, not dead, not dead. The guard, ho! Oh, dispatch me.
What's the noise?
I have done my work in, friends. Oh, make an end of what I've begun.
The star has fallen, and time is at his period. Alas and woe!
Let him that loves me strike me dead.
Not I.
Thy death and fortunes bid thy followers fly. This sword, but shown to Caesar with this tidings, shall enter me with him.
Art thou there? Anyone? Draw thy sword and give me sufficing strokes for death.
Most absolute Lord, my mistress Cleopatra sent me to thee.
When did she send thee?
Now, my lord.
Where is she?
Locked in her monument. She had a prophesying fear of what hath come to pass. For when she saw, which never shall be found, you did suspect she had supposed with Caesar, and that your rage would not be purged, she sent you word she was dead. but fearing since how it might work, hath sent me to proclaim the truth, and I am come. I dread. Late.
Too late. Bear me, good lord, where Cleopatra bides, till the last service that I shall command you.
Woe am I, sir, that you may not live to wear all your true followers out. Most heavy day.
Nay, good my fellow, do not please the sharp fate to grace it with your sorrows. Bid that welcomes, which comes to punish us, and we punish it, seeming to bear it lightly. Take me up. I have left you oft. Carry me now, good friend, and have my thanks for all.
Oh, Charmian, I will never go from hence.
Be comforted, dear madam.
No, I will not. All strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise. Our sighs of sorrow, proportioned to our cause, must be as great as that which makes it. How now? Is he dead?
His death's upon him, but not dead. Look out of the other side, your monument, for I have brought him thither.
Oh, son, burn the great spear thou movest in. Darkling stands the varying shore of the world. Oh, Antony, Antony, Antony. Help, Charmian. Help, dearest. Help. Help, friends below. Let's draw him hither.
Peace! Not Caesar's valor hath overthrown Antony, but Antony hath triumphed on himself.
Oh, it should be that none but Antony should conquer Antony. But woe, 'tis so.
I am dying, Egypt. Dying. Only I hear important death a while, until of many thousand kisses the poor last I lay upon thy lips.
I dare not, dear. Dear my lord, pardon. I dare not, lest I be taken. Not the imperious show of the full fortune Caesar shall ever be broached with me. If knife, drugs, serpents have edge, sting, or operation, I am safe. Your wife, Octavia, with her modest eyes and still conclusion, shall acquire no honor demurring upon me. Come, Antony. Help me, my women. We must draw thee up. Assist, good friends.
Oh, quick, or I am gone.
Your sport indeed. How heavy weighs my lord. Our strength is all gone into heaviness that makes the weight. Had I great Juno's power, the strong-winged Mercury should fetch thee up and set thee by Jove's side. Yet come a little. Wishes were ever fools. Oh, come. And welcome. Welcome. Die where thou hast lived. Quicken with kissing. Had my lips that power, thus would I wear them out.
A heavy sight.
I am dying, Egypt. Dying. Give me some wine and let me speak a little.
No, let me speak. And let me rail so high that the false housewife Fortune break her wheel, provoked by my offense.
One word, sweet queen. Of Caesar, seek your honor with your safety.
Oh, no. They do not go together.
Gentle, hear me. None about Caesar trust, but Proculius.
My resolution and my hands I'll trust. None about Caesar.
The miserable change now at my end. Lament nor sorrow at, but please your thoughts in feeding them with those my former fortunes, wherein I lived, the greatest prince of the world, the noblest. And now do not basely die, not cowardly put off my helmet to my countrymen, a Roman by a Roman valiantly vanquished. Now my spirit is going. I can no more.
Noblest of men would die. Hast thou no care of me? Shall I abide in this dull world, which in thy absence is no better than a sty? Oh, see my women! Crown of the earth doth melt. My lord, withered is the garland of the war. The soldier's pole is fallen. Young boys and girls are level now with men. The odds is gone, and there is nothing left remarkable beneath the visiting moon.
Oh, quiet, Miss Lady.
She is dead too, our Severian.
Lady!
Adam!
Oh, no more. But he and a woman, and commanded by such poor passion as the maid that milks and does the meanest chars. Else but not. Patience is Scottish, and impatience does become a dog that's mad. Then is it sin to rush into the secret house of death, ere death dare come to us? How do you, women? What good cheer? Why, how now, Charmian? My noble girls. Women, look, our lamp is spent. Out. God, good sirs, take heart. We'll bury him, and then what's brave, what's noble, let's do it after the high Roman fashion, to make death proud to take us. Come, away. This case of that huge spirit is now cold. Women, women, come. We have no friend but resolution, and the briefest end.
Act 5.
Go to him, Dolabella. Bid him yield. Being so frustrate, tell him he mocks the pauses that he makes.
Caesar, I shall.
Wherefore is that? And what art thou that darest appear thus to us?
I am called Canidius. Mark Antony I served, who best was worthy, best to be served. Whilst he stood up and spoke, he was my master, and I wore my life to spend upon his haters. If thou please to take me to thee as I was to him, I'll be to Caesar. If thou pleasest not, I'll yield thee up my life.
What is it thou sayest?
I say, O Caesar, Antony is dead.
The breaking of so great a thing should make a greater crack. The round world should have shook lions into civil streets and citizens to their dens. The death of Antony is not a single doom. In the name lay a moiety of the world.
He is dead, Caesar, not by a public minister of justice, nor by a hired knife, but that self-hand which writ his honor in the acts it did, hath with the courage with which the heart did lend it, splitted the heart. This is his sword. I robbed his wound of it. Behold it stained with his most noble blood.
Look you sad, friends. The gods rebuke me, but it is tidings to wash the eyes of kings.
And strange it is that nature must compel us to lament our most persisted deeds.
His taints and honors waged equal with him.
A rarer spirit never did steer humanity, but you gods will give us some faults to make us men. Caesar is touched.
When such a spacious mirror is set before him, he needs must see himself.
Oh, Antony, I have followed thee to this, but we do lance diseases in our bodies. I must perforce have shown to thee such a declining day, or look on thine. We could not stall together in the whole world, but yet let me lament with tears as sovereign as the blood of hearts, that thou, my brother, my competitor, in top of all design, my mate in empire, friend and companion in the front of war, the arm of mine own body, and the heart where mine his thoughts did kindle, that our stars unreconcilable should divide our equalness to this. Hear me, good friends, but I will tell you at some meeter season. The business of this man looks out of him. We'll hear him, what he says. Hence are you?
A poor Egyptian yet. Queen, my mistress, kind in all she has. Monument. I intents desires instruction. He preparedly may frame herself to the way she's forth to.
Bid her have good heart. She soon shall know of us, by some of ours, how honorable and how kindly we determine for her. For Caesar cannot live to be ungentle.
So the gods preserve thee.
Come hither, Procleus. Go and say, we purpose her no shame. Give her what comforts the quality of her passion shall require, lest in her greatness, by some mortal stroke she do defeat us, for her life in Rome would be eternal in our triumph. Go, and with your speediest bring us what she says and how you find her.
Caesar, I shall.
Where's Dolabella? To second Procleus.
Dolabella.
Let him alone, for I remember now how he's employed. He shall in time be ready. Go with me to my tent, where you shall see how hardly I was drawn into this war, how calm and gentle I proceeded. Still, in all my writings, go with me, and see what I can show in this.
My desolation does begin to make a better life. Paltry to be Caesar. Not being fortune, he is but fortune's knave, the minister of her will. And it is great to do that thing that ends all other deeds, which sleeps and never pallets more the dug, the beggar's nurse and Caesar's.
Caesar sends greeting to the Queen of Egypt, and bids thee study on what fair demands thou meanst to have him grant thee.
What's thy name?
My name is Procleus.
Antony did tell me of you, and bade me trust you. But I do not greatly care to be deceived, that have no use for trusting. If your master would have a queen his beggar, you must tell him that majesty, to keep decorum, must no less beg than a kingdom. If he please to give me conquered Egypt for my son, he gives me so much of mine own, as I will kneel to him with thanks.
Be of good cheer. You're fallen into a princely hand. Fear nothing. Make your full reference freely to my lord, who is so full of grace that it flows over on all that need. Let me report to him your sweet dependency, and you shall find a conqueror that will pray in aid for kindness, where he for grace is kneeled to.
Pray you tell him I am fortune's vassal, and I send him the greatness he has got. I hourly learn a doctrine of obedience, and would gladly look him in the face.
This I'll report, dear lady. Have comfort, for I know your plight is pitied of him that caused it.
Royal Queen.
O Cleopatra, thou art taken queen.
Quick, quick, good hands!
Hold, worthy lady, hold! Do not yourself such wrong, who are in this relieved but not betrayed.
What, of death too, that rids our dogs of languish?
Cleopatra, do not abuse my master's bounty by the undoing of yourself. Let the world see his nobleness well acted, which your death will never let come forth.
Where art thou, death? Come hither, come! Come and take a queen worthy many babes and beggars.
Oh, temperance, lady!
Sir, I will eat no meat. I'll not drink, sir. If idle talk will once be necessary, I'll not sleep neither. This mortal house I'll ruin. Do Caesar what he can. No, sir. I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octavia. For they hoist me up and show me to the shouting varletry of censoring Rome. Rather a ditch in Egypt be gentle grave unto me. Rather on Nilus's mud lay me stark naked, and let water flies blow me into a pouring. Rather make my country's high pyramids my gibbet, and hang me up in chains.
You do extend these thoughts of horror further than you shall find cause in Caesar.
Proculius, what thou hast done thy master Caesar knows, and he hath sent for thee. For the queen, I'll take her to my guard.
So, Dolabella, it shall content me best. Be gentle to her. To Caesar I will speak what you shall please if you'll employ me to him.
Say I would die.
Most noble Empress, you have heard of me?
I cannot tell.
Assuredly you know me.
No matter, sir, what I have heard or known. You laugh when boys or women tell their dreams. It's not your trick.
I understand not, madam.
I dreamed there was an Emperor Antony, with such another sleep that I might see but such another man.
If it might please you.
His face was as the heavens, and therein stuck a sun and moon, which kept their course and lighted the little the earth.
Most sovereign creature,
His legs bestrid the ocean, his reared arm crested the world. His voice was propertied as all the tuned spheres, and that to friends. But when he meant to quail and shake the orb, he was as rattling thunder. His delights were dolphin-like. They showed his back above the element they lived in. In his livery walked crowns and crownlets. Realms and islands were as plates dropped from his pockets.
Cleopatra.
Think you there was, or might be such a man as this I dreamed of?
Gentle madam, no.
You lie. Up to the hearing of the gods. But if there be, or ever were one such, it's past the size of dreaming. Nature wants stuff to vie strange forms with fancy. Yet to imagine, and Antony, were nature's peace against fancy, condemning shadows quite.
Hear me, good madam. Your loss is as yourself, great, and you bear it as answering to the weight. Would I might never o'ertake pursued success, but I do feel, by the rebound of yours, a grief that smites my very heart at root.
I thank you, sir. Know you what Caesar means to do with me?
I am loath to tell you what I would you knew.
Nay, pray you, sir.
Though he be honorable.
He'll lead me then in triumph.
Madam, he will. I know it.
Which is the Queen of Egypt?
It is the Emperor, madam.
Arise, you shall not kneel. I pray you, rise, rise. Egypt.
Sir, the gods will have it thus. My master and lord I must obey.
Take to you no hard thoughts. The record of what injuries you did us, though written in our flesh, we shall remember as things but done by chance.
Soul, sir, of the world, I cannot project my own cause so well to make it clear. But to confess I have been laden with like frailties which before have often shamed our sex.
Cleopatra, no. We will extenuate rather than enforce. If you apply yourself to our intents, which towards you are most gentle, you shall find a benefit in this charge. But if you seek to lay on me a cruelty, by taking Antony's course, you shall bereave yourself of my good purposes, and put your children to that destruction which I'll guard them from, if thereon you rely. I'll take my leave.
And may, through all the worlds, 'tis yours, and we, your scutcheons and your signs of conquest, shall hang in what place you please. Here, my good lord.
You shall advise me in all for Cleopatra.
This is the brief of money, plate, and jewels I'm possessed of. 'Tis exactly valued, no petty things admitted.
Cleopatra, not what you have reserved, nor what acknowledged, but we in the role of conquest. Still, be it yours, bestow it at your pleasure, and believe Caesar's no merchant to make prize with you of things that merchants sold. Therefore be cheered. Make not your thoughts your prison, no, dear queen, for we intend so to dispose you, as yourself shall give us counsel. Feed and sleep. Our care and pity is so much upon you that we remain your friend, and so adieu.
My master and my lord.
Not so. Adieu.
He words me, girls. He words me, that I should not be noble to myself. But hark thee, Charmian.
Finish, good lady. The bright day is done, and we are for the dark.
Hie thee again. I have spoke already, and it is provided. Go, put it to the haste.
Madam, I will.
Where is the queen?
Behold, sir.
Madam, as thereto sworn by your command, which my love makes religion to obey, I tell you this. Caesar through Syria intends his journey, and within 3 days you and your children will he send before. Make your best use of this. I have performed your pleasure and my promise.
Dolabella, I shall remain your debtor.
I your servant. Adieu, good queen. I must attend on Caesar.
Farewell and thanks. Now, Eurus, what thinkst thou? Thou, an Egyptian puppet, shall be shown in Rome as well as I. In their thick breaths, rank of gross diet, shall be enclouded and forced to drink their vapor.
The gods forbid.
Nay, 'tis most certain, Eurus. Saucy lictors will catch at us like strumpets, and scald rhymers ballad us out of tune. The quick comedians extemporally will stage us, and present our Alexandrian revels. Antony shall be brought drunken forth, and I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra vie my greatness in the posture of a whore.
Oh, the good gods.
Nay, that's certain.
I'll never see it, for I'm sure my nails are stronger than mine eyes.
Why, that's the way, to fool their preparation, and to conquer their most absurd intents. Now, Charmian, show me my woman like a queen. Go fetch my best attires. I am for Cydnus, to meet Mark Antony. Sirrah, Eurus, go. Now, noble Charmian, we'll dispatch indeed. And when thou hast done this chore, I'll give thee leave to play doomsday. Bring our crown and all. Wherefore's this noise?
Here is a royal fellow that will not be denied your highness presence. He brings you figs.
Let him come in. What a poor instrument may do a noble deed. He brings me liberty, my resolutions placed, and I have nothing of women in me now. From head to foot I am marble constant. Now the fleeting moon no planet is of mine.
This is the man.
Avoid and leave him. Hast thou the pretty worm of Nilus there that kills pains not and pains not?
Truly, I have him, but I would not be the party that should desire you to touch him, for his biting mortal. Those that do die of it do seldom or never recover.
Rememberest thou that have died on it?
Very many, men and women too. I heard of one of them no longer than yesterday. A very honest woman, but something given to lie. As a woman should not do, but in the way of honesty, How she died of the biting of it, what pain she felt, truly, she makes a very good report of the worm. But this is most fallible. The worm's an odd worm.
Get thee hence. Farewell.
I wish you all of joy of the worm.
Farewell.
You must think this, look you, that the worm will do its kind.
I farewell.
Look you, the worm is not to be trusted, but in the keeping of wise people, for indeed there is no goodness in worm.
Take thou no care. It shall be heeded.
Very good. Give it nothing, I pray you, for it is not worth the feeding.
Will it eat me?
You must not think I am so simple, but I know the devil himself will not eat a woman. I know that a woman is a dish for the gods, if the devil dress her not. But truly, these same whoreson devils do the gods great harm in their women, for in every 10 that they make, the devils mar 5.
Well, get thee gone. Farewell.
Yes, forsooth, I wish you joys of the worm.
Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Now, no more. The juice of Egypt's grace shall moist his lips. Yare, good Eris, quick. Methinks I hear Antony call. I see him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I hear him mock the luck of Caesar, which the gods give men to excuse their after wrath. Husband, I come. Now to that name my courage prove my title. I am fire and air. My other elements I give to baser life. So have you done. Come then. Take the last warmth of my lips. Farewell, kind Charmian. Dearest, long farewell. Have I aspic in my lips? Thus fall. Thou and nature can so gently part. The stroke of death is as a lover's pinch, which hurts and is desired. Thus thou lie still. If thus thou vanishest, thou tell'st the world it is not worth leave-taking.
Dissolve thick cloud and rain, that I may stay. The gods themselves do weep.
This proves me base. If she first meet the curled Antony, he'll make demand of her and spend that kiss which is my heaven to have. Come, thou mortal wretch. With thy sharp teeth, this knot intrinsicate of life, at once thy poor venomous fool, be angry and dispatch. Oh, couldst thou speak, that I might hear the great Caesar called as unpolicied.
O Eastern Star.
Peace, peace. Dost thou not see my baby at my breast, that sucks the nurse asleep?
Oh, break, oh, break.
As sweet as balm, soft as air, as gentle, Antony. Nay, I will not take thee too. What should I stay?
In this vile world, so fare thee well, now boast thee. Death in thy possession lies, alas, unperilled. Downy windows, close and golden Phoebus, never be beheld of eyes again so royal. Your crown's array, I'll mend it and then play.
Where's the queen?
Speak softly, wake her not.
Caesar hath sent.
Too slow a messenger. Oh, come apace, dispatch. I partly feel thee.
Approach, ho. All's not well. Caesar's beguiled. There's Dolabella sent from Caesar. Call him. What work is here? Charmian, is this well done?
It is well done and fitting for a princess descended of so many royal kings. Ah, soldier!
How goes it here?
All dead.
Caesar, thy thoughts touch their effects in this. Thyself art coming to see performed the dreaded act which thou so soughtest to hinder.
Away there, away for Caesar!
Oh, sir, you are too sure an augurer. That you did fear is done.
Bravest at the last. She leveled at our purposes, and, being royal, took her own way. The manner of their deaths, I do not see them bleed.
Who was last with them?
A simple countryman that brought her figs. This was his basket.
Poisoned, then.
Oh, Caesar, this Charmian lived but now. She stood and spake. I found her trimming up the daedron. On her dead mistress, trembling she stood, and on sudden dropped.
Oh, noble weakness! If they had swallowed poison, 'twould appear by external swelling, but she looks like sleep, as she would catch another Antony in her strong toil of grace.
Here, on her breast, there is a vent of blood and something blown. The like is on her arm.
This is an aspic's trail, and these fig leaves have slime upon them, such as the aspic leaves upon the caves of Nile.
Most probable. That so she died. For her physician tells me she hath pursued conclusions infinite of easy ways to die. Take up her bed, and bear her women from the monument. She shall be buried by her Antony. No grave upon the earth shall clip in it a pair so famous. High events as these strike those that make them, and their story is no less in pity than his glory which brought them to be lamented. Our army shall in solemn show attend this funeral, and then to Rome. Come, Dolabella, see high order in this great solemnity.
Oh, I love the end of the show. It is so fantastic. Everything is amazing, and everybody
Yay,
is amazing.
snakes!
Yay, snakes! Okay, so I have moved us into speaker view. If all the actors would like to bring their cameras in, and we will run a quick curtain call. Please open your mic when it is your turn and make some noise so people can see you. Okay, today as Manus and the soldier is Kevin.
Yay, snakes!
Snakes. As Pompey, Euphronius, and the clown, we had Howie.
And I'm still, there I go. Hi, everybody.
As
Watch Pippin.
As Marty and the guard, we had Jake.
Thank you, guys.
As the soothsayer and Proculius, we had Eric.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. Good night.
As Alexis and Candidius, we had Vera.
Hi, thank you.
Oh, it's Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. She was amazing. As Octavia and Dolabella, we had Molly.
Thanks for watching, guys.
As Marcus Lepidus and Tyreus, we had John.
Hey, what's asp?
As the messenger, we had Carl.
Yes. Thank you.
As Agrippa, you had myself tonight.
Yes.
As no, I'm bad at names. As
McCanus.
McCanus, that was right. We had Michelle.
Good night, everybody.
I laugh at them when they ask before the show how to pronounce all these names because I have to say all of them at the end and I never get them right. As Eros, we had Wendy.
Thanks for watching.
As Scarus, we had Joe.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
As Iris, we had Janie.
Thank you so much.
As Charmian, we had Maddie.
Thank you very much.
As Octavius Caesar Austin.
Thank you. Tune in next time.
As Enobarbus, we had Chris. Enobarbus?
Enobarbus. Thank you. Good night.
As Cleopatra, we had Kelly.
Thank you, everybody. Donate if you can. Have a good weekend.
And as Mark Antony, we had Kurt.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go into the center if you can. Have a good night.
Thank you all again for watching. We have thoroughly enjoyed ourselves all evening, and that is what really matters. We are taking next week off for Easter. We will be back with scenes and monologues on the 10th. So that's going to be fun. We're doing Shakespeare's greatest hits. So if you have any suggestions, please post them on our Facebook page, and we will try to cover all of Shakespeare's greatest hits in one night. What? In the meantime, please, if you have the opportunity or the inclination, donate to the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck. It is a theatrical home for many of our actors in these times and also in better times. We're hoping to see a lot of great work going on there, continuing to go on there in the next couple of months. They are, I believe, hoping to get an outdoor stage, and then we will have some more live productions. And so that will be some great stuff. They have a couple of shows coming up here. They are about to do Pippin. And they are
Howard.
Howie's in Pippin.
Pippin!
Pippin! They're about to do a streaming production of Pippin. So if you have the opportunity to get tickets to see Pippin, our beloved Howie is involved in that. And also they've just cast As You Like It, and they've got a rewriting of Oedipus Rex that's going up as well. We have several people here involved in that, right? At least Molly, you're involved in that one?
Molly and Vera.
Molly and Vera. There we go. So we have some actors involved in it's Oedipus RX, right? Yes. Okay. I wanted to get it right. Okay, so there's several shows coming up at the center. Please patronize their work. It is amazing stuff. And
Centerforperformingarts.org.
That one. All right.
Happy World Theater Day.
Happy World Theater Day from all of us to all of you. And thank you once again from Livingroom Shakespeare.
Bye.